Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm doing a follow-up review on my Holosun 503C. Okay, that's the red dot that has the solar panels. Okay, there's a solar-powered red dot. Um, I think we might be having some durability issues with this red dot. And the situation I had is a couple of nights ago, doing some night shooting. And at one point I had the gun rested like this, and what happened is the gun just fell over. Okay, so it's not like I even dropped it from this height. I mean, it just literally fell over from here to there. And the next day, I noticed that it was not as bright. Now, when I switched it to battery power mode, I could go to full brightness. But when it was in solar power mode, and I was basically in a sunny area, it was not bright enough. Okay, and I tried switching it back and forth from solar mode to manual mode and back and forth, and I could not get it to go. I could not get it to unstuck itself. Okay, again, in manual mode, I was able to get it as bright as I wanted to. I was able to go to full brightness, but in solar powered mode, which is also auto adjust mode, it was not going bright enough. And what I did is I put the gun down for a couple of hours because I had to go do something else. I came back to it, and what I noticed when I came back is now I was doing something a little bit different. If I was facing the sun, or basically if I had the solar panels exposed to the sun, it would automatically now adjust to full brightness. However, what I noticed is that if I, like for example, if I'm in this direction here, hold on this side, so you guys can see it. If I'm in this direction here, where the solar panels have access to the light, it's now in full brightness. I'm able to see that red dot the way it's supposed to look. But now, with the sun in that direction, if I switch over to this side, now what's happening is my shadow, basically my body is casting a shadow over the red dot, and it's not going as bright as it should go. Now I have two other red dots here from Holosun. These are 403Cs. Okay, so the only difference is that these don't have the 65 MOA circle. Okay, but the point is that these guys, when I'm pointing the gun in this direction with the sun behind me, that red dot is like really bright. And the reason why I mention this is because a lot of times when you're in a situation like this, you kind of wonder if your mind's kind of playing games on you. Maybe, because we're talking about, I mean, the fluctuations in brightness can be a little difficult to measure. So one of the things that I'm doing is with the sun behind me, what I'm doing is I'm pointing the red dot at the table, okay, and that's, I can see. Again, now my body's casting a shadow on the solar panels, and I can see on this other 403C that, on the white table, that red dot is bright, and the white table is important because the red dot tends to wash out on a white surface if it's not strong enough. Okay, so now I'm going to take the other one, the 503C, and I'm going to basically put it side by side. Right, so now I can see both red dots side by side, and I can see clearly that the one in my left hand, the 503C, is not as bright as the other one over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch this to manual mode. There you go, manual mode, and I'm going to, okay. So now I'm doing the exact same thing. And boy, that is bright. Okay, now I'm looking at the two dots side by side. There we go. I can see them both. This one over here is still running on solar power. With the 503 now in battery mode, it's actually brighter than the other one. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to solar power mode. There we go. And as soon as I go back to solar power mode, I can see that it is not as bright. So I have the benefit of being able to, that I have two other Holosun red dots like right there, so I can kind of compare them, and I can know for sure that, my mind's not playing games with me, that I'm actually correct in that this red dot is not as bright as it was before. So I actually I spoke with Holosun. They sent me an RMA so I can send this back into them and they can check it out. But I think that this is something that, I'm putting this video out there because I want you guys to be aware of it. In case you experience a similar situation, I'd like, either make your own videos or just come into my comment section of this video and post that you might have had a similar experience or whatever your experience is. This way we can start building up a database, in the comment section as far as, how reliable this red dot is, okay? Because like I said, it's not like I was abusing this. It's not like I was throwing this like from the top of the trees over here. This was a very simple situation where the gun fell from here to there, and it's it's now not as bright as it was before. Okay? But again, with the shadow, with me casting the sun behind me and me casting a shadow over the solar panels. Okay, that circle dot is basically now washing out against the whatever I'm pointing at over there. And right now, this is ever since I bought this, I immediately put it on this Ruger 1022. So this is where it's been the whole time. So it's not like I've been shooting thousands of rounds of 308, with this red dot mounted on top of that. I mean, this gun's only been shooting 22s. So, it's actually had a very cushy life up until the point where it just got knocked over. Okay, so, like I said, I just want to share this information with you guys, and this is something that we're gonna have to keep an eye on, because basically, solar powered red dots are what I consider still in the experimental phase. It's not like they've been out for like decades. So they're probably gonna go through. They probably will be a little problematic. There's probably a couple of bugs that need to work out. They probably need to find ways to, maybe toughen them up a little bit. One easy idea. It falling over is just a shock issue, I think. But another, as I look at this, basically this solar panel is basically almost flush with the top of this. If this rifle were to drop like this to the ground, and it would have hit this, that could easily be damaged. So one easy option might be, to raise the frame a little bit around the solar panel. So if it does hit something, maybe it's a little bit more protected. So building up the metal around it a little bit, might be a good idea, a good simple solution. But that's what my experience has been so far. I do love solar powered red dots. I do think it's the future. The biggest problem with red dots is that they run on batteries, and they batteries tend to run out. So I think that it is the correct direction to be working in, to make solar powered red dots. But the more we stay on top of it and do reporting and let Holosun know what the problems are, the faster they'll eventually fix this. If not in this generation, in the next generation, or generation after that. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it. If you're not a member of my channel, subscribe. Hit that bell button so you get notifications of my videos. I'll talk to you guys next time.